everyone. Grab a drink at the back and a cupcake if you fancy it. We'll be starting, I don't know, in 10 minutes or something, maximum. Okay, can I get the panelists to come up to the stage, please? We're going to get started. While that's happening, I'll introduce myself. I'm Ellie Rennie. I'm a professor here at RMIT University in the Blockchain Innovation Hub. And we've been co-hosting, we've been supporting the Melbourne Web3 hack, the meetup, since about 2017. And we intermittently now hold events like this where we bring key projects from Web3 to come and meet the Melbourne community and to talk about their work. So if you're new to this, please do sign up for the meetup and keep an eye out. We've got one in December, a meetup with people from MetaGov, which is a decentralized research network, who'll be talking about DAOstar. So DAOstar is a standard for DAOs that enables us to share information about DAOs and to create better DAO tooling. So they'll be coming and speaking to us live as well from Paris and the States. And so that's on December 14th, that one. It's Thursday night. We'll be back over in the Activator for that event. So keep an eye out on the Web3 meetup page. I'll be posting it now that this one has, will have happened by tomorrow. So anyway, I just want to say welcome to RMIT. Tiny bit of housekeeping, because this is a new space for us. The bathrooms are behind the curtain. And I think that's really all you need to know. You can get out through the street there, but also out that way if you need to. And as we do in Australia for our international guests and at RMIT, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where we are meeting here today and pay my respects to elders past, present and future. So that's the Woiwurrung and Boonwurrung people of the Eastern Kulin Nations. And I've been doing some work with an Indigenous academic called Tyson Yunkaporta for some years. There's a podcast that we did called Sky Camp, where he talks about the kind of Indigenous or Aboriginal in particular notions of the world here, the kind of physical reality and another reality. So it seems fitting to mention that tonight when we're about to be talking about the metaverse. So we also pay our respects to elders in the metaverse. And we have a fantastic panel of people here tonight, but I'm going to hand over to our fabulous moderator, Saskia, who will bring them up and introduce everything.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. How you going? Thank you, thank you. Yes, my name is Saskia, and I will be inviting our excellent panelists up to the stage. Ben, hello. Come and join me. Okay, Marcus. Mona and Kasey.
Hi, is this on? Test.
Test. Is it?
Our lovely Metaverse friends. How you going, y'all?
Does it work? Yes.
A bit nervous,
I have
but
a pickle.
excited to meet you all.
I thought you,
What? He gave me a pickle.
and you got the red eye
wearable?
thing. It's so awesome.
Oh, yeah. Cybernetic eye, that's why.
So we are talking about Metaverse tonight, and this event is live streamed. So you can see a camera behind you. That is what's happening there. Guys, can you tell us where is this being streamed?
Oh, wait, what was the question?
Where?
Streamed?
Where's it being streamed, Kasey?
So it's being streamed in world at a place called VoxCon, which is our first official Voxels land. We got like a bunch of large parcels on Andromeda, community builders were commissioned to create kind of like a festival vibe. So there's main stages, there's arcades and attractions, workshops, and yeah, it's just all about the community coming together.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you can also check the live stream out. Like, it's on the huge screen on the side here. So it's showing the avatars that already gathered to see it and the VoxCon arena.
So I think it's just a video stream, like it's not a hologram. It's just a video stream from that camera onto the wall, probably using Twitch, I guess, or YouTube. Yeah, so, yeah.
Nice.
And there'll be like ones of people there at the moment. By the end, there'll probably be 20, 30, 40, 50 people.
Okay,
Maybe.
cool.
There's 30 people here, so there'll be as many people in the virtual world as there is here. Maybe.
Awesome. So before we get into this excellent discussion, I want to know a bit about everyone here that's talking. So let's start with introductions. Ben, do you want to go first?
Yeah, hi, I'm Ben Nolan. I'm from Wellington, and I founded Voxels in 2018. It was called Crypto Voxels back then, but I had to rename it because Matt, who worked there, his parents were super religious and hated crypto, and it was really hard on their family. So I had to buy Voxels.com, which I was about to offer $100,000 for, but the guy emailed me in a very serious tone that morning and said, "I will not accept less than $8,000. And I said, "That is fine." So, yeah, so now I work at Voxels, which is the same company as Crypto Voxels. Nailed it.
Is it my turn?
Sure is, man. Go for it.
Cool. I'm Marcus. I run Punk Office. We specialize in interactive 3D experiences. So stuff like multiplayer frameworks, clothing configurators, and avatars and animations. I've got a big-ass scanning rig in my studio, which is like Hollywood grade. So I scan some people for that. I've got a mocap
It can also
suit.
scan people as well as asses. Like it's not a big ass scanning. It's like a
You can scan small asses
It's
too.
a generalized scanning
any
rig.
kind of ass.
We're all about
And
inclusivity and diversity in the metaverse.
yeah, this
And
guy's my
here.
client. So
I work with Marcus.
Yeah. He kind of stalked me because I made this virtual world, kind of a small one. I thought no one gave a shit, and like a few years later, he was contacting me like 4 different mediums.
I was looking for the only excellent Babylon.js developer in Australia, and it turned out to be Marcus. I'm
Yes.
so very, very glad to meet him.
Yes, default. Yeah, so that's it. I do avatars and animations and the coding around that, so it works into their system. That's me.
Cool. I'm Mona, and my background was actually in the film industry, and I joined the team about 6 months ago now, and I'm looking after the 3D design, island creation, and most currently testing the new lighting engine that we're going to release in the next weeks, which is really exciting. You should check it out. And yeah, all-round design, basically.
Hi, I'm Bitpixi, or Kasey, and I started at Voxels 1 year, 3 months ago, just working there. But before, I was living in the metaverse. It was during the pandemic, and I was just hanging out, and I thought, man, I'm never going to be able to afford a parcel. But yeah, I did commission builds for people. I started making wearables. I was involved. I saw, hey, there's so many microeconomies going on. Like you can, have musicians playing and basically just like little worlds inside this world. It's amazing. So yeah, now I was on the team, started with product design and led into events and community management, as well as island creation and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's cool going from like that to then seeing like what goes on behind the scenes, and I'm just really appreciative of everything metaverse. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Bitpixi. So we are all here to hear about Metaverse, but specifically Voxels. So Ben, can you please give us an explanation of Voxels and how it became so successful?
I don't want this to be like a pitch. So the good metaverses are us, Substrata, Somnium, Decentraland, the Sandbox. Mark's tried really hard and his one still kind of sucks. But eventually Facebook will do better with 100 times the budget. Second Life's obviously way bigger than us. Everyone uses Roblox. World of Warcraft's been around forever. And then Minecraft. So there's lots of us. We're just this tiny little one on the edge. We were really successful because last year there was a big NFT wave that was coming down and we were tracking pretty well. And then I was like, we get to have last summer off. And then I woke up and Mark renamed his company to Meta. And then we made like $5 million in 5 weeks. It was quite a big 5 weeks. And so then we bought a pub and moved in there. And then the market collapsed. And then we had to lay everyone off because we weren't making money anymore. So yes, we're hugely successful.
Now, what I've noticed is, and probably a lot of you have as well, that crypto can attract a lot of VC money. Now, how has that been in your situation, and have you experienced this, and what has been the case so far?
Elon's best friend's Bill Lee, arguably, and Bill Lee owns the land in the center of the world. He bought it off my friends. Oh man, the story sounds like bullshit. Anyway, whatever, I'll just roll with it. So I said to my friends one Friday night, hey, I'm on the beers, I deployed that thing I've been talking about. I'll give you a parcel if you get an Ethereum wallet, and you can help me test it, and then don't sell it till it pays off your mortgage. And they were like, ha ha, and then 3 years later, Bill Lee bought their parcels and paid off their mortgage. And so Bill's a really good friend of Elon, and Bill really wants to invest, so every time he rings up to invest, which he doesn't do anymore because he thinks we're going to fail now, but back in the day he'd always ring up, I'd be super starstruck and say, yes, definitely. And then when Andreessen Horowitz rings up, I'd go see them and be like, yes, definitely. And then the next day I'd be like, I really don't want to fucking deal with these people. No offense if you're on the stream, Bill. And so I've managed to say no. I've managed to avoid taking investment, which sounds like an own fucking goal, but it's just, I don't know. I get to do whatever the fuck I want, and I like it. And I get to look after the people in the company and the people in the community, and that's what I really want to do. And, you know, it's worked out really good for us. I've got like a jacket, 2 jackets.
Excellent.
And really, I think that's one of the biggest strengths of this specific Voxels metaverse, right? That it's just independent. It's like the independent underdog, right? Which I think is just a really important alternative to a lot more profit-driven metaverses. And it's good that it stays that way.
There's only one truly decentralized metaverse that doesn't have, so we don't have VC investors, but we're not decentralized in the sense that I get to make all the decisions, but you know, we're on the blockchain, so everyone owns their own content, so we can't take it off them. But the only one that's truly, really a decentralized autonomous organization is Decentraland, who I worked with them before I worked at Voxels actually, and they're really nice guys, but it's hard to run one of these companies, one of these organizations purely in a purely distributed way. There are. That's the only other one I know that hasn't taken VC money either. So yeah, we're kind of unique in that sense.
I like the feeling that you're all expressing here about community and being independent. There is a very strong theme of community in the metaverse world. Kasey, can you talk to us a little bit about community managing voxels and some of the challenges that you do come up against, probably, I'm going to say 24/7, because this is not a traditional business hour kind of deal, is it?
Yeah, well, luckily I have very odd sleep hours my whole life, so Ben was like, you're online 24/7. So I get pinged all the time, constantly with people just wanting assistance and guidance on the projects they're working on. There's that, but then sometimes it's like neighbor conflicts, like, hey, someone nudged their pickle wearable onto my land, and why is there pickles all over my land? And can you come clean this up? Or like talk to my neighbor for me. And so I'll do mediation, and through that I've learned a lot about people and about the product as well, and just like explaining different options to people and how we can resolve it. So that's just been really enlightening, yeah.
Before community management, did you ever think that you would be dealing with these kinds of situations? Ever?
Well...
Virtual pickle management.
Actually, I had wanted to go to grad school for human-computer interaction and AI ethics, which I never got to do. So this is kind of like my way to engage with that kind of study. So I really appreciate it, and I think that there's a lot with the combination of people when they own their own virtual land, and it's just a blank slate, and whatever your imagination can create. I mean, that's amazing to me. Yeah.
I think it's amazing that you are so interested in AI and ethics. That really seems to be a common foundational aspect to metaverses and community management. I think a lot of people underestimate what goes into that kind of responsibility. And as well, I'm really thrilled that we've got someone so experienced on the panel to kind of guide as well your knowledge and impart that onto our audience, because it's very early days still, and even though we can go and check out Voxels and others, Decentraland, Roblox even, the community side, it's not one person, but for Voxels it is, right?
I mean, there's something coming up now about interoperability, and while these worlds do compete as naturally companies do, there's also a bit of cooperation and overlap between builders in the different worlds. And I think like just portaling through to different companies in a small ways like might just be what we need to keep people cohesive and learning about the different technology, and then we learn and improve the technology. So it's just kind of like naturally, organically happening. Sorry, what was the question?
Just to impart your wisdom with the community here.
Okay.
Because it is such a new area, I think community management can be vastly underestimated. But you just said that your interest is in AI and ethics. I just think that that's mind-blowing because it is a very important part of managing the whole community. So it's not just picking up virtual pickles. What are some of the complaints that you have had to really deal with?
We had, can I, sorry.
No, you can answer.
Yeah, so my favourite one. You can't have porn in Voxels, because if we have porn, then I have to pay a whole room full of Filipino people to look at the porn and say whether that's someone being murdered or just someone doing porn. And I don't want to fucking pay someone to do that, so we just have no porn. It's fine.
I call it the hot dog, not hot dog algorithm.
Yeah, it's just not a good time. The only way to do it is to pay these people on fuck all wages to look at this shit all day and fuck up their brains. So we're not going to do that. So you're not allowed to do porn in Voxels, but you can have boobs and nipples and nudity if it's, kind of art, because you go to art gallery and there's fucking naked people. I wouldn't be wearing the shirt if I didn't think it'd freak you all out. But I was in a parcel talking to the owner, and it was his favourite cam girl, and I was like, that's cool. That one's actually porn. Can you pixelate it and then click on it and it'll be linked to her website? That'd be great. He's like, yeah, that's cool as. And then some dude we didn't know was standing next to us in the virtual space. And he's like, you can't fucking censor that. I'm like, dude, it's in the fucking rules. And the owner's like, yeah, man, I'm totally get it. That makes sense. And so that dude, bless his heart, got really motivated, and we've got WOMPs and Voxels, which are like screenshots of all the things. You go on the wall and use a virtual camera, take a photo, and it gets listed on an Instagram feed on the front page of the site. He went through the entire site for 12 hours non-stop, found every single nipple in the world, took a photo of it that was hanging on the wall, and other people were like, oh, we have to stop this guy. I was like, I'm sure he will run out of energy eventually. And I looked at them all, and I was like, they are all artistic nipples that you would see in a gallery. Like, it's like a male statue, not like me, but like an Adonis kind of fella, not like me, but and he eventually did give up, and I was like, this is fucking great. Sorry, what was the question?
No, that's it.
I thought that was a really good solution.
We'll just wait it out.
Yeah.
Didn't you censor swear words with love hearts?
Oh, I did.
And then there's a whole bunch of love hearts, and then someone said, oh, I'm being sexually harassed by love hearts.
Yeah, we tried to bleep out the curse words, and that backfired on us.
Yeah.
So I think we brought curse words back.
Yeah, if you said I hate you, it would say I love heart you, and maybe the the aubergine emoji. It wasn't super well thought through idea. It didn't work out, but it was fun for a while.
So with those kinds of challenges that are coming up in community moderation, I'm sure you come up against some other criticisms. Now, the aesthetic of voxels, have you experienced anyone criticising the look of voxels, and how do you deal with that?
Oh, sure. So I just really like the Vox file format and the cubes and the simplicity of just stacking the cubes up, and it's just really meditative for me. And Magica Voxel is a good software to get into it. It's by F. Tracy, EPHTRACY, if you look up that Twitter. And that's how I got started making wearables. Anyway, so yeah, if people don't like the lo-fi aesthetic, the sort of Minecraft style, then there's plenty of other metaverses that they can engage with that use .obj files, for example. And yeah, I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, it's quick loading as well. Huh? And quick loading, because it's so basic and easy to get into and start building. It's just like Lego.
And Mona, you worked at Weta before, where they had, dinosaurs and King Kongs, and then you came and worked on cubes. I haven't actually asked this, so hopefully it's a good answer. How do you find working in?
It was a really interesting challenge, because Weta Workshop is a company in New Zealand that does a lot of the really high fidelity films like Avatar, The Hobbit, etc. And it's all about the tiniest detail, right? Like the tiniest wrinkle, everything needs to be 100% hyper realistic. And it's actually amazing to think about the world in an abstract way, in an abstract style, because you still want the same expression, the same impact, the same feel, but just with reducing all fidelity and detail. And I really love that challenge. And I think what people make of it, seeing the different creations in the world, they're just mind-blowing, and they're just not alike anything else I've ever seen before. And in terms of bringing fidelity into the world, I think a bit of that is happening now with the new lighting engine, which has insane intensity of lights and color gradients, and it's a good mix as well, having that beauty of the lighting engine together with the simplicity of the voxels. And if any user is ever interested to bring in more high-res footage, you can import JPEGs or movie files and just create, put them on all the walls, the floors, and bring that fidelity into the world that way if you wanted to.
That was an excellent question, Ben, and one that I was very interested to know as well.
If I answered emails, I would have told you to ask that question to Mona, but I don't read emails.
No
I'm sorry.
worries. What are emails? Mona, just on that, coming from the film industry, as you say, very high fidelity, beautiful work, very realistic. So what did make you make the jump into Metaverse?
It kind of just felt like a natural progression, in the sense that my main focus at Weta was building miniatures for films that were basically shot in a way that they then in the film would be scaled up and look like a realistically sized environment. And what's happening everywhere else in the world at the moment is that those processes are becoming more and more digital regardless, right? So we're 3D modeling a lot of the assets, we printing them, often the miniatures, the models, once we finished them, we would scan them with photogrammetry and create digital models that then become amended and then end up in the films as 3D assets as well. And just finding out the Voxels metaverse just made me super fascinated about just being engaged with a whole digital world that exists as it is. So it's like the next step forwards and also into the future of where I think the film industry is moving to at the moment anyways.
It definitely seems that way. There's quite a natural progression with imagery to be experienced in that way. But Marcus, can you
Yes,
give
I'm
us...
here.
Yes, you're here, you're with us. I want to find out from
Ben,
you...
be quiet.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to mute my phone at the opposite.
Can you give us your take on what Metaverse is, please?
Okay, that's a big question because everyone has a different answer. But I always thought of the Metaverse as like Wreck-It Ralph. You know, you drive your Mario Kart into Call of Duty, grab a rocket launcher, and then go to an eBay bidding session, and then shoot out all the competition. But that's not going to happen in the near future. And now most people are talking about the Metaverse as just like another virtual world. You know, Decentraland, it's a Metaverse. But that seems kind of stupid to me because, you know, that's nothing new, really. It's just another virtual world. And then there's Mark Zuckerberg's definition of the Metaverse, which is a virtual world where avatars have no legs. And so he just came up with this new term to make it sound revolutionary and get some buy-in for that.
The fucked up thing about him is he doesn't spend his time in the metaverse. He spends his time cooking meat and fucking writing that hydrofoil. We're meant to go in the metaverse because our lives are meant to suck. His life is meant to make all that money by us being in the metaverse so he can go hydrofoil and cook more fucking meat.
Yeah, and then he makes his stuff use Horizon Worlds.
He's
I
a
think,
chode,
forces.
man. No offense, Mark.
Big fan. Mark Zuckerberg, you're not here, are you? Yeah, so yeah, so that big vision of the metaverse where everything, all experiences are one, you can go from one to the other, like that sounds awesome, and there's movies about that kind of stuff. But to try to pull that off is actually really hard, and I've been working on that. Like, avatars be cool if you create one avatar and you can put it in this world and drag it here and then play it in Fortnite. And every time someone sends me an avatar file, it's like just different. It's always something different with it. And if you want, you know, the ultimate platform that can read every file, then you've really got to weaken the architecture and make it bloated. So in the real world, it's not so easy. We can't have everything speaking together. You know, it's like cars. You can't have every steering wheel compatible with every car. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah. So. Yeah.
I think, yeah, you know, a JPEG file you can display on every web browser and look at on every phone and stuff. But the GLTF file format for 3D stuff, to try and import it into different worlds, like the difference might be someone will send you a file and the person will have 7 bones and you're expecting 6. And that kind of stuff you can't.
Oh, that sucks. That's why I've been wasting your money trying to do these avatars for you guys.
It's really hard. We promised to deliver everyone's avatars from every world working in Voxels a year and a half ago because we prototyped it over a few weeks and it was like, this will be easy, probably 2 weeks will be out. It's been 18 months of solid work because everyone's system is fucking different.
Yeah, because then someone will send me an avatar, I'm like, why doesn't that work? Why is there a weird bone? Like, there's tails in this human being. What's going on? We don't have tails. And yeah.
I mean, I think the challenge there, but Voxel's main advantage that people say is that we're browser-based and you can just get on your phone and jump into a parcel, or you can just hop in online or on headset, and it's just one of the first virtual worlds to be that accessible. But yeah, if you're not a downloadable clients are easier for that kind of implementation. But I think that, you know, we're almost there with the browser-based advances. So,
yeah, that's a good point. It's harder to work with browser-based frameworks.
The question about what a metaverse is, I hope the metaverse doesn't become just one big metaverse. I hope Voxels doesn't become the metaverse. I hope Decentraland doesn't. They're great people. I hope Mark's one definitely doesn't. I hope whatever Epic does with their huge amount of money doesn't, and I hope Bored Ape Yacht Clubs doesn't become the metaverse. I want these to all be metaverses. You can walk from one to other. You know, it won't be quite like Wreck-It Ralph. It'll all be kind of glitchy and shitty, like going from one website to another. But you know, you will be able to walk as us four. We'll go to Marcus's house tomorrow. We'll all get scanned. We could go into Voxels wearing our costumes, and then we could walk through to Decentraland, and then we could walk through to Somnium, then to Substrata, and then briefly into Horizons, and then off to the Bored Ape Yacht Club metaverse, other side, whatever it's called. That would be the goal, and they all interoperate. And Voxels is a really big part of that, but we don't have to be the one. It's not the goal. The goal is for them all, and all of them together is the metaverse. That's what I think.
I have an addition to what I think Metaverse is one, it's your legacy, and your legacy expressed online. Two, I think it's the ability to build and express yourself through time and space. And 3, I don't know, I haven't thought of the third one yet, but
Future Kasey has.
yes. I just gotta work on my time travel again.
Maybe I got a third one, because I think another application would just be, like in comparison with the worlds that we're seeing at the moment, they're really playful and colorful and abstract. But I think what will sooner or later be created as well is a metaverse that's just the progression of Web 2 as we know it at the moment, which is basically just taking online shopping into the third dimension, right? That there's a always 24/7 accessible world where you do your shopping, you go to the gym, right? You can travel, you go do your yoga class, and you basically would do that in VR, meet up with friends that are actually physically on the other side of the world, but meet them in that metaverse, which is probably going to be a close copy of reality, stylistically, I could imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the model that works is like Shopify is working on. I like to say I know Toby from Shopify. He wanted to stay on my couch in Germany once, and I said no before he was a hyper-billionaire. And so now I email him back, hey, you tried to stay on my couch once. Do you want to do something with us? He's never replied, so I think I probably burnt my bridge there. But Shopify wants to do 3D, and they want to, and so what it'll be is instead of lots of separate, instead of Shopify being on Horizons, you'll hopefully go from Horizons to the Shopify metaverse, which won't be a big world that you walk through. It'll just be individual little shops. And, you'll buy most shit on Amazon just by scrolling down, but there'll be some stuff. Me and Josh went to the Ferrari dealership today. That's a good 3D experience. We're not buying one, we're just looking at them. But, it's just, there are some things which work like that in a 3D experience. There are some things that you don't. Like going to a supermarket's not particularly awesome. You don't really want to do that in 3D. Kind of a sorted list would probably be better. If you're going to a clothing shop or a furniture shop or a shop that sells another thing.
Pickles.
A pickle. Like, pickles are quite small. Probably like big things. You probably buy big things in 3D or like...
Yeah, it's not great for everything. Like, there's some people that love the metaverse so much, I think every experience should be in the metaverse. If I want to buy a can of soup, I don't want to have to fly to a citadel and slay a dragon just for a piece of soup.
Yeah. This was really...
And that's what some people are going nuts on. Like, every brand needs to be in the metaverse. Every experience. Like, well, I don't want to walk for ages and make friends and do all that shit. I just want to scroll down and buy these pair of jeans. So I think people tend to go a bit overboard. Like, let's all be in the metaverse 24/7.
But I mean, clothing shopping, that's amazing, right? If you have a 3D scan, a realistic 3D scan of your body, and you just go into a shop and you try that piece of clothing on, right? That's a lot more accurate than what we're doing at the moment.
You slay the dragon first.
You slay, of course, you slay the dragon first. But at the moment, what we're doing, right, we ordered 10 pairs of jeans because we don't know which one fits, and then ship 9 of them back, create a huge amount of, carbon, yeah. And just being able to replace those things in VR and in the metaverse, I think that could, yeah.
There are some things that absolutely make sense to do in 3D that you want to look at from lots of different angles or the way they hang on a body. And once something's in 3D, it would be good to do it with a friend so you can point at it. So instead of like rotating around saying, no, hold it from this angle, I can see you standing there. I can see you and I can point with my hand and we can see it. That's the point at which 3D makes sense. This isn't just the metaverse for the sake of building a cyberpunk dystopia, which obviously we all want. It's also, there are things that just work better in 3D. Buying cans of soap, worse in 3D. Buying clothes, buying couches, better in 3D.
I think it's also helpful that there's anti-gravity and you can fly. Yeah.
A lack of gravity.
Lack of gravity? Oh yeah, sorry, that's like black holes and stuff. Okay, so it's, the saying in Voxels is hit F to fly, which is just the F key on the keyboard, and your character starts floating in the air. And you can build architecture that you wouldn't be able to build in the real world. Maybe you can display clothes like in different ways or try on in a different way. That is just faster, more accessible, rapid prototyping than you could in the real world. So there might be certain applications for that. And yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what's happening in that space because at the moment I think metaverses are still very much based on what we know from reality, which is of course making it a lot more accessible for people at this stage. But I think in a few decades from now, when we can leave some of that behind because we're used to the concept, we can think everything completely new, right? We can, as you say, like we can imagine cities entirely differently. We can imagine clothing, fashion, the way of life, you know, like there are no limitations.
That's an excellent segue because when you talk to lots of different people about metaverse, sometimes there are differing opinions as to what it is and when it will arrive or if it has arrived. But also there's some curiosity around what will you actually be able to do in a metaverse. And so for Voxels, say if I don't know, Mirvac came along, which is a really big Australian property group, specifically in retail.
I wouldn't really want to work with them, but...
Just as an example, if a big retailer or property developer said, how would you reimagine retail or a shopping centre in Voxels or Metaverse, are you aiming for a similar experience to attract adoption and appeal to customers, or are you working with them to fully reimagine the entire shopping mall experience for something entirely new, as you've just suggested?
I wouldn't want to work with them. I don't like working with big brands. Marcus would happily take their money and work for them. This is what he does, is create bespoke metaverses.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd take the money. This guy, yeah, no corporate sponsorship or anything like that, so...
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's awesome that you would service, but it would be something you would build bespoke for them, right?
Yeah. That's what Punk Office would do. That someone would say, can you turn this into a virtual world for our customers to come in, and then I'd say, what do you want to be able to do? How realistic do you need it to look? How fast? How much money do you have? Yeah.
What if they don't know? What if they are seeking
I just give them.
a visionary?
That's true. Most clients don't know what they don't know. So like I usually give them a really quick demo and go, this is what you can do. You can run, walk, fly, and steal stuff from their website and kind of turn that into a world, and they'll say yay or nay, or oh, I get what's going on here, and then we can start with that. But yeah, usually the case is I have to show them a demo, a prototype, or point them to things near Roblox or whatever. Some kind of reference, yeah.
Yeah, totally. And the lucky thing is, I mean, we've got like how many builds in the world at the moment? 15,000? I don't know, an epic amount. So there's so much reference to study and to offer as option, and to also look at what works and what doesn't work, and just take that as a learning.
Yeah, I shouldn't come across so negative. Mirvac stuff wouldn't work because this building, that's a diagonal angle, and they're impossible in voxels because it's made out of squares. So it would be better to do it with a generalized engine. And then the idea of the metaverse is that the costumes that we all go and buy in voxels, you could all wear over to the Mirvac opening of the fancy thing. So they'd all arrive in their Agent Smith Matrix costumes that they think look really sharp, and we would turn up with tassels on made out of voxels. Like that's what I think the metaverse should be. Tassels.
Well, I think it's cool that Voxels, that Ben has created the model of Voxels.com to have the freedom for brands. Like you get the blank slate of your parcel. So the brand goes in there and they have to decide what to build, and they decide if they want to build it themselves. They decide if they want to hire someone, like Marcus is saying, and that's how all the microeconomies just bloom organically by themselves. And it's like that freedom, I think, makes Voxels different, as well as the builder itself has so many tools. There's like custom scripting you can do. There's dozens of features you can add that are, like you said, a range of fidelities, audio, video, and you can create a lot of different kind of displays or illusion effects that are just so dynamic and immersive, and you can walk through and really feel like you're in this huge room, even though you're looking at a small screen. It's incredible. So yeah, everyone can approach their area, their build differently. And every day I see something like, I've seen all this stuff, but how do they do that? So it's amazing what they can do with the builder and how Ben has created like a neutral freedom for people to just choose how they want to make it.
Well, that's what I like about the voxel aesthetic. To me, it reminds me of Commodore 64s and old computers and stuff, because you can see the pixels versus, a PlayStation 5 game, you can't really see the pixels. I was thinking of it, this is very kind of grandiose, but as pointillism. Pointillism or cubism was a kind of art. And you did it in that style and you kind of stuck to it. You could do really fucking cool stuff in that style, but you could hang a pointillism picture next to a picture that looks more like a real thing, like a Mona Lisa picture, like a painting that looks like I'm not sure what you call that, a fine art.
What's pointillism?
Pointillism is when there's lots of dots on the paper. Like you draw a picture out of lots of dots. Or
Those are like old Archie comics?
Or Aboriginal art, right? I mean, that's pretty much pointillism.
Yeah, like olden days, like the 1700s, or I don't know.
Am I the only one here doesn't know what pointillism is?
Okay, anyway, you can have all these different kinds of art and they all coexist and you can really work within the bounds of those, but you can hang all those kind of arts in the same gallery. And so the metaverse should be a gallery where you can walk between these different things. Voxels, we never need to solve the problem of making trees look realistic, because I don't fucking want to. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't all be able to immediately walk out to a world that does have really good looking trees because the person majored in tree geometry. That's the way I think it should be worked, rather than trying to build one generic, extremely high performance engine that can do everything and you have to be a super genius to use.
So if you're not a super genius and you are new to voxels, then what's the best way for them to get in, use the...
Press the play button.
Be part of it.
Yeah. And also connect in world. You'll meet other builders and you can just ask them, hey, what's up? My name is so-and-so. Like, how did you build this? Or tell me about this. And that's how I learned a lot of the things, just by flying around and talking to people. And we have a Discord, we have Twitter, we have other means where people are connecting and always advancing and changing what is possible with builds by talking with one another. And yeah, that's how I would do it.
Yeah, and also just feel free to totally experiment, because it's not like art in the real world, right? Where you make something that's permanent, so you have to think about your decisions quite thoroughly. In this world, you can delete everything, so you can go as wild as you want, and if you don't like it, you just chuck it out and start again.
Oh yeah, we have something called snapshots. So you can buy one parcel, and then you can make a build, save the snapshot, make another build, save that, and then you can kind of like switch between them depending on who's visiting or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a release party where everyone comes into a boring space, then you press a button, and then it's amazing. Yeah.
So for those that don't want to build anything, what can they do?
Party.
Oh, they
Yeah,
have
you can
raves.
go to parties, yeah.
they actually have rave parties. There's beatboxing
free.
challenges and yeah. So it's
But there
Party.
are also many artists in the world that are selling their work, so you could commission something specific, I guess, or buy something existing and just plug it on your own parcel.
You could become friends with a gallery owner in world and say, I'm an artist, will you display it? And people are often very, very happy to do that.
Now, Ben, being the owner of a Web3 company, what kind of advice could you offer other people out there who are looking at delving into this space as well?
Don't fucking invest in it. Don't buy Ether and, more than your financial advisor would advise, which should be 2% of your net worth in case crypto accidentally takes over the thing. Don't fucking buy 90% expecting you pay off your parents' mortgage, because you'll just fucking blow all your money and it'll fuck you up real bad. Invest in fucking index funds and S&P 500 tracking funds. That's what you do. That's what we do. The metaverse is amazing. If you want to get involved in the metaverse, either mint some content on Rarible, like 1 or 2 pieces of your friend's best piece of art and sell them for $10 in Ether, or if you're a programmer, deploy a contract on Ethereum or Polygon. That's what I recommend. Don't go out of this and buy shitty NFTs. These are NFTs. I'm going to let you decide whether it is or not shitty, but just don't yeet in there because you think you're going to do well. We did well by programming the whole fucking way through and building art, not by investing in crypto. I would make way more money if I had not argued with the guy back in 2011. He wanted $91 for 100 Bitcoin, and I wanted to pay $87, and we got to $88, but we couldn't agree, and I was like, nah, fuck you, I'm not paying that extra $1. I would have made way more money if I'd bought that than working on this fucking hard thing for 4 years. But this is cool. I kind of hate speculation in crypto. Like, I like general growth and people capturing their value. I do not like that if someone bought a CryptoPunk a while ago, anyway, it's fine. Josh knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the markets are more volatile in crypto. It's higher risk, but also higher reward sometimes. And when the markets are down, I still feel like people just stick around, and the people who stick around and build and keep making crypto art and just keep doing cool stuff, I mean, those are beginning to be some of my best friends. And yeah, I have an Ethereum tattoo on my arm. You can't see it right now, but no regrets.
Like, the winters are the best times to build. Winters are amazing. Everyone that's there in the winter is there because they believe in it. And everyone that contacts you is cool and interesting. During the hype cycle, you make lots of money, but you might as well not check your emails because it's just constant fuckheads emailing you about shit that they will never do because they just want to get in on the graph goes up bullshit.
Yeah, and I think additionally, I think also getting involved with things or building things that have an additional value compared to just being an investment. And that's what Voxels is doing, right? Because you have the property, you can build on it, you can host parties, you can host concerts, you can have an art gallery, sell NFTs, whatever, do a shop, sell wearables. Like, it creates a way bigger value than just having a random NFT. Basically just the image. Yeah, that's basically just like a trend, right? But it's no real value necessarily.
Yeah, and I think NFTs. I got an Uber driver the other day take me out to Notting, which is a place apparently. But it was a really good Uber drive because he was asking me about NFTs or something. So I mentioned I worked in this space, and I try and never say NFTs because I worry that someone will shoot me on the way out of here. But and he was really interested. He's like, yeah, because I've got these 3 nice photos of it. I've been doing photos forever. You know, could I do them? I was like, yeah, you get the NFT, and what the NFT is an ownership record of it. And he's like, oh, so like a Monet. I was like, it's a cool comparison. Like, you know, that's on the wall. Everyone can go look at it, but one person owns it. And it's like, yeah, wouldn't it be cool to be that person that owns that one, even though you let everyone look at it? And he's like, oh, so I could do that. It's like, yeah, go onto Mintbase or Rarible or whatever, mint you a cool photo, and then sell it to a friend for $10, and then that's it. You know. And you've got an NFT, that's what it is. I think the bullshit, hypey, scammy NFTs where old mate, washed up cricket player wants you to buy an NFT to join his shitty Discord so that he can get the fuck out of there, doesn't care because he's been paid $100,000 in cash from some shitty scam thing 4 streets that way. I don't know, you know, somewhere. Like, that stuff has ruined it for us.
Yeah, I think walking in the opposite direction of that would be like sentimentality. So if something is sentimental to you, that you just want to ponder or think about, like, for example, I created an Ethereum wallet for my son. He's only 2 years old, but I'm sort of leaving like secret messages in there for him, and got a parcel for him to display those. I call it the time capsule wallet. So I will keep it secret from him until he's about maybe 13. I don't know. When he starts getting pissed off saying, fuck you, mom, then I'll be like, cool, we'll throw a like, fuck you, mom party. And then, and then I'll give him the wallet and the parcel, and we'll have a little metaverse party. And it's going to be great.
I was hoping that my son might be able to run all of this one day, you know, once I don't want to do it anymore. But he gets my friends when they come over to do him things, pick up that Lego or you're fired. I'm like, you're going to be terrible at running this. I think it's too, the future of children, hopefully it'll be really good. I don't know.
The what?
The future of children, like.
Future of children. Oh, yes, okay. Well, let me give an example. There was this, there's only a few handful of like parents in Voxels, and I know of them, and the kids that, there's many more parents, but not as many kids building in there quite yet. A lot of them are on Roblox, but Some do build in here, and there was a Valentine's Day party, and all the kids came by. The neighbors knocked down some of their builds so that the kids could have more space, because they're like, oh, kids, let's support them. And then it's just pure delight. You see blocks going everywhere, and colors and images are over there, and particles are like flying over that way, because they don't really have the organization mode yet of such. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see that pop-up gallery space. And then after the Valentine's Day Kids event, we just put it right back to what it was. And yeah, it was fun.
It's actually great potential to push boundaries, right? Because I think after a certain age, we are so set in the way how we see structures and architecture that it's really hard to unlearn and unthink all of that, right? So just having kids, right, completely go nuts and experiment in the world, that's actually great. We should do that more. Invite more kids to parties.
So on that note, we will wrap up shortly, but just one last question I'd love to hear from each of you. What has been the most surprising thing being part of Voxels?
I think for me it was getting to know the community and the team, which is completely different than any job I've ever done before. Like we work in, I think, about 5 different time zones all around the planet. And then just, meeting once a week as avatars in the world, an event called Voxambly, and just hanging out in the Metaverse in person. I never imagined anything like that before. It was a big surprise, and I really love it.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised when I went to visit them, and he bought a bar, and it still looks like a bar. Still got everything there. There's like 4 guitars, and he has a laser show upstairs where the developers are. So sometimes there's lasers in your light. And I think you were playing Public Enemy and you cranked it. I thought it was pretty cool. It's kind of like a nightclub where people code. And that's how he runs that business. And that's kind of how I run my business as well. I run it more like a band than an actual business. So that's why we get along. And everyone else will probably think, nah, these guys aren't going to get anywhere. But I thought that was pretty cool. We had a sick jam, remember last time before I got COVID when I was there? Yeah. That's it.
Just how wild and eccentric everyone is, all the Voxillians in the world and in our company. There's a lot of smart people, creative people, neurodivergency. There's people with disabilities, anyone from around the world. Like, you're not limited to any sort of demographic. And you can transform as much as you want. Like, you could be a cardboard box that day if you wanted, or whatever. So it just really gives a lot of that freedom and accessibility to people who wouldn't otherwise feel accepted in society. And that's why I think it's cool.
I think the most surprising thing for me is I went into the crypto space thinking it'd be full of crypto libertarian fuckheads that I'd never want to know, and this most amazing, beautiful, loving, compassionate community formed around it. And every time I get to go meet them all in person, I'm always amazed. Like, I went to NFT NYC, and I thought it would be the biggest pile of douchebags you ever met. I was like, fuck it, I'll go wade through that, I'll bring gumboots. They were lovely. Everyone was lovely. They were all amazing artists. Really. There was one guy who had this amazing backpack and a shit NFT collection, and he wouldn't tell me where he got his backpack from unless I bought his NFT. So there was one douchebag, but there was like 8,000 people. No offense to that guy. I did find it on AliExpress too. It was $80. It's got like a light on the back, and it shows a GIF of Super Mario.
Essential.
The community is amazing. Like the art community that exists in these metaverses, in this NFT space, the decentralized, the people that are building small collections, working with the people that love their art, supporting them without an intermediary. Not through Patreon, not through Instagram promotions, not on YouTube. Promoting Audible. Which is fine for people. That's the way it works in the old web too. These people have this real connection with their community, and they're lovely people, and. Everyone is really nice. They get some people when they've bought things for too much and they've gone back a bit and they see bugs in our stuff, they attack me personally, and I send them a love heart and block them on Twitter. But that's the minority. Everyone else is very, very kind and welcoming and joining, and that's surprising, and I love it.
For those people, I've seen Metaverse grant companies crop up, and there are other ways that through their communities and selling wearables and getting grants through these other protocols, they're still thriving. So yeah, it's all going to be super awesome.
Well, speaking
Everything's
of
fine.
beautiful community, we have one IRL.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. This has been wonderful to see all your faces here.
Can we bring some people on stage now?
Go for it.
All right, we've got more members of the Voxel team from New Zealand, and you're going to come to the stage. Erica, she's got this cool device here. Can you explain what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Go, Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica. I'm working on this side project, which is the brainchild of Ben here. It is a device that you can add, you can put on your Quest and have full color stereoscopic camera pass through that runs at 60 frames per second. The team has been working super hard on this and got it to a really amazing point where it works and it's comfortable to wear. And we've recently open sourced everything and put it out there to the community to take it further and see what happens.
We put a bunch of money into it, and I thought it was going to go amazing, and then the market crashed so hard, and we need to focus on voxels. So we open sourced it all. We've got a big stack of these in the office, and we was just like, we'll burn them or something in the bin. And people have been really requesting them and demanding them, and so we keep selling them with the knowledge that at the moment we can't support it. All of our developer resource, all 7 of us, are working on voxels, but this community. We really want this to be, because the other way to do this, is you buy an Oculus Quest Pro or a Pimax P4. The Quest Pro is $2,000 and and the Pimax is monoscopic. This is $80 for the module, and you can 3D print it, or you can buy the whole thing assembled from us for $140, and then there's no software for it. But if you're good at GitHub, you could download the Godot shit and run it, and then you do pass-through, and it all looks exactly the same. You just see the outside, but I can delete my ex-boyfriend's face, or I can display your name above your head, or I can make the entire thing red, or I can make it warp, or temporarily displace. It's trivial to do this stuff. I went to Sunnyvale, where the fuck the Facebook campus is, and met the chief of hardware there, and I tried to explain to them, don't build the fucking Quest Pro, buy the... I won't tell them. Anyway, they didn't listen to me, so they built the shitty Quest Pro. This is the future, is just a phone on your face with 2 little cameras on the outside that just does pass-through, and then you just warp everyone's face. It's like drugs. It's awesome.
It's a great starting prototype for extended reality and mixed reality. Can you say the type of languages, and again, about Godot or Babylon.js, and et cetera, that were open source, like the kind of engineers you're looking for to work with for this?
Oh yeah, if you've done Godot, the 3D engine, or if you've done GLSL, or if you've done, basically if you're Bastian Olli, the Godot AR core developer who lives in Sydney, who's amazing, if you're somehow another version of him, if you've done Godot and stuff, we would love to have you to work on this community. We have bounties to work on different features for it. We'll send a device out to you if you can help us with it. Once the market turns around, we'll pour more resource in it. But for now, it's a community-driven thing. Also, I don't want Meta to... I'm running out of words. I don't want Mark to own all this shit, so we want to do an open source version. The Links R1's another really good version of this.
All right, cool. I'm going to bring down some more people. Josh, you're so far away. Come down here.
Tim.
You're a cool member.
Jonas.
No, they get to hide if they want to. They don't pull on this.
No, he's down with it. I checked it with him. Well, he's a nice-looking guy. Why not? He's one of the engineers, one of the coders. Where's the other guy? Tim. Oh, there he is. Stand up. Show everyone your face. This boy.
It's
Yay.
him.
Some of the smartest dudes I've ever worked with. Really good. Yeah. And I think that's it, unless anyone's got...
Avatars are people too.
Yes.
We just need to reinforce that.
That's
People
right.
don't just live in virtual worlds. We are humans as well.
And thanks as well for the team here at RMIT. Like, it was amazing collaborating this morning, setting up, and for all the help and for hosting us.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
hosting.
you.
This has been lovely, and thank you everyone for your rad costumes. I feel horribly underdressed.
Oh.
Yes, cupcakes and drinks and mingle.
Yes. To the lovely community, let's open it up to you. Does anybody have any questions? Because you've got the Voxels team now, and it would be great to pick their brains.
So you've answered half my question because the word Godot came up, because I was wondering what game engine you guys were using, Unity or Unreal. But
We use Godot for running on the Quest because it's got to run fast and native, bunch of C++ stuff. All the web-based stuff is Babylon.js, WebGL2.
okay, I had like previous kind of game dev world experience, but like I'm kind of out of touch with the state of Web3 integration into game engines. Like, how is that? Like, do you guys have to build a lot of your own stuff, or is there a lot of open source stuff accessible?
It's trivial in the web browser, and it's really hard in Unity. In the web browser, you just use the Web3 API and hook into MetaMask, and you can sign transactions. It's very, very straightforward. All the demos are web-based, text, React, whatever, and you just do that in 3D, and it's really easy. I think it's much harder in something like Unity because you don't have the wallet in there, and I don't even know how, like, it's definitely doable because everyone manages it somehow, but it's much more complicated.
Yeah, cool. One other question, mainly for Marcus, about the avatar stuff. I'm kind of curious, like you were saying, like how it's difficult to have an avatar that's translatable between different worlds within the metaverse and whatever. Has anyone ever like created an open specification for how to make an avatar? Kind of like we have ETH and we have like ETH specs that come out. Is there one for avatar building for the metaverse?
Yeah, apparently VRM is meant to be one of those, but even that, like I discovered you can have completely different bone hierarchies and bone names, and sometimes the bones are rolled a bit differently. And there's a solution to those things, but then it just really muddies the architecture to be able to fix those things on the fly and make it work. Yeah, it's still messy. Like I'm sure they'll fix it. It's not a problem that's going to be around forever, but at the moment it's a bit of a mess. And some of them that tried, I think Substrata, they won't animate them if you can import in VRM. Was that you that told me that?
Yeah. So there's this person named Jin on Twitter. His name is DankVR, and he studies interoperability and the standardization, essentially, because no metaverse has figured it out yet, and it's just a highly technical, challenging problem right now. So yeah, that was probably about VRMs, but
yeah, you've got to make compromises all the time. Like we'll only allow ones of this size and this many polygons and this many bones, because if you have it completely open, people can go nuts and just have massive Godzilla-sized avatars that just slow down the experience for everyone. So it's messy.
I feel like eventually, as each metaverse creates their own standardization and we see how they can like cross-function, there will be some kind of like maybe container file that would house all of them, so it would be continuous, but this is still a ways out, I think.
There's the Open Metaverse Association that will eventually open their Swiss bank accounts, and then we can start talking about technical things. So no offense to that. It's just there are things working at this, and they're kind of working at association speeds. So it's it'll get there eventually.
But there's like 3 Open Metaverse associations.
And there are 3 of them.
Oh no. Yeah, so everyone's trying to solve this problem, basically.
Bastian's in all of them, though. So not
they'll
Bastien,
be
but
different.
Sebastian Bourget. He'll eventually solve it for all of us.
Awesome, thanks for answering my questions.
We have to use the mic because this is being heard in the metaverse.
Hi, Metaverse. Actually, less technical question. You mentioned that the crypto winter is the best time to be involved, in the space. It's where you meet the most genuine people and the people that are really invested. But obviously, a crypto summer is going to come around again at some point, hopefully, for all the crypto investors in the room. what are you doing to prepare for that, to make it as good a possible experience for yourselves and everyone else that's trying to be involved in Vic Voxels?
I've got a caravan, and I'm going to tow it somewhere, and then park it on the grass, and then read a book and go for a swim in the river. And I'm going to do that for like months.
Yeah, he's weird. I'm surprised any of us are making money, to be honest. We're all weird.
You don't during the rush time. You don't get to stop. That run up that crashed in February. That was 18 months without a break, without a day off. It sucked. Like, it was all. You can't say it sucked because it worked really well for us financially, but it sucked. It was the hardest, shittest thing.
Yeah, I think it's just natural when things are going up and well to just expand a little bit, and when things are going down to like conserve a little bit, and that's just natural in humanity. So, yeah.
You can build because you can focus because you're not constantly being chased after different things. You get to focus on hard things, you get to solve hard problems, you get to really reconnect with the community, the kind of grounding that you lost and all the, oh my God, and you get to rest, and then you get to lay a good foundation, and then, when things go again, you get to roll with it. And you have no idea how long it's going to be. I read a really great book called The Psychology of Money, which is, about not yeeting away any money you make, but it's also about you can't predict things. Yes, it's always been cyclical. It will always be cyclical. We all know that, but we might be totally wrong. It might stop tomorrow. And that's the fucking thing. You don't know. And so, yeah, all you can do is just keep cruising along. My only guarantee is that this website will still exist, this world will still exist in 10 years' time, so we'll keep going slowly. If it goes great and we're rested and we can, be part of that, that's great. If we don't, we'll exist. Waiting for the end of a bear market is a very hard game for people. So you need to kind of adapt to this is the new normal.
Hi guys. I was just wondering, with the current scaling situation at Ethereum, is that limiting you guys in any way? And have you considered moving to an L2?
Yeah, we had to give up on Ethereum like 2 years ago because you used to be able to mint wearables for $1, and then it was $32 to mint them, and then you couldn't transfer them, and then there's congestion and all this other shit. So we moved to Polygon a while ago. All of our main stuff will always be in Ethereum because I trust the I want to say sanctity is the wrong fucking word. The amount of people that run servers that run it, like the hash rate of Ethereum, or whatever it is now. It's not hash rate. The amount of money staked to it to make the network safe and secure. I prefer to have high-value things stored on Ethereum, stuff like a hat or a virtual dong that you wear on yourself that's worth $1. We normally keep that stuff on Polygon because it's much cheaper and faster. I'm really a big believer in the Ethereum virtual machine, but I'm pretty pro side chains, and I think I'd be pro ZK rollups if I knew what they were.
Yeah, and people can display their NFTs from any chain in Crypto Voxels. Like you could have Tezos artwork, you could have Solana artwork, you can have Mint-based Near protocol artwork, and just link out to the piece of art from inside of your virtual gallery. So you can have many chains existing within the Ethereum-based parcel as you're gifting your Polygon, hey, you need a drink? All right, and then it just like zoops over to them on Polygon, and they're holding the drink and they're looking at art, and it's just awesome.
Thank you for getting together in Melbourne. Looking forward to seeing you at Oshi tomorrow at the party.
That's gonna be a fun party.
I wanted to ask you about some. Just ask you about some ways in which you've seen people do cool shit in making parties with music, with art, doing things live, not doing things live, especially when, especially about music, because that's what I'm very sort of interested in.
I know I'm talking too much, but can I talk? 'Cause I'm excited about this. Yeah, so when we bought this pub, we got the upstairs and the downstairs, we just put all our shit in, and so we kind of got a pub, but I don't drink, so we don't let anyone go there. Whatever. So we just hang out. So to answer your question, we've got a stage, we've got all the lights, I play synths, I talk. So instead of going up like Steve Jobs, hey everyone, I'm going to invite the iPhone, I play a sad chord on the on a polysynth, and then I say, yeah, things are going really badly, and then I put on a little arpeggiator and I play a major chord, and then I'm like, but things are going to get better, and I change the color of the lights. So that's how I do it. Obviously, it'd be better to see a DJ that way. So you get a couple of Logitech Mevos, you hang them up on around your thing, you run them into OBS, you have OBS switch between them automatically, you stream them onto Twitch, or if you don't want to use OBS, you can use the Logitech Mevo app, and it'll switch cameras automatically, do a mixer feed into the back of one of the cameras, stream it onto Twitch, and then put the Twitch onto the wall in a room that you've got in Voxels, and then create an event that are listed on the front page, say who's playing, and then 1 or 2 people will come along, and it'll be like an empty party, and then sometimes quite a lot of people just turn up because everyone goes to your party and they take a photo, and it's like, oh my God, Wayno, the DJ's playing. And, and so they take a photo of it, they put it on the front page, and then it gets promoted, and they kind of have this little circle, and then you have people turn up, and it's just a really nice experience. So, and you can dance and emote, and you can talk to each other with voice. So yeah, that's how you do it. It's actually quite straightforward. We haven't written that down anywhere, but somehow people work it out anyway.
Oh, thank you guys for the talk. I was just wondering, how do you guys implement the real-time features? Do you guys use a third-party API like Agora, or just WebRTC all the way through?
We rolled it all ourselves using WebSockets, and that works pretty well. But WebSockets, you get a lot of back pressure, or whatever the fuck it's called. We got sending too many packets, and because it's TCP, and it's if it gets out of order, and then it has to resend them. Josh will know the word for this. But we're going to move to Web Transport, which is a UDV-based thing. We did it all ourselves, basically.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't think there's any more, but I love the combination of very techie and very social questions that we get in these forums. It's fantastic. And it's been brilliant to hear about Voxels. You guys are just so warm-hearted and love what you're doing. It's just, I absolutely, have enjoyed this event so much. Thank you. I understand there's a few things that are happening now. First of all, you're welcome to hang around here and network and talk to these fabulous people some more. We've got this space till 8:30, so please have more beers, and the cupcakes are divine. I just ate one. Also, the headset, is that what you call it? The VR thing? The Focus? Come and try it. Like, put it on, experience it. It's here for that reason.
It's not a VR headset. It's something you've never seen.
Okay, so yeah, that thing.
It is. It is a VR headset, but if you're expecting to see VR, it's not. And it's not. It's not the pass-through shitty camera that you've seen. That's infrared. It's something different, and it's still very laggy, so you'll feel quite sick. But it might open your eyes quite a lot.
Amazing.
Can I also let people know about the event tomorrow?
That's what I was going to say,
Okay.
yes. But first, I mean, actually, there is another thing more before then, which I understand there's drinks. Marcus, do you want to spruik that first? Did you organise that bar?
Oh, what? Oh, the after party.
After party.
Oh, we're going to go to Fortress, the bar down somewhere down there. So after this shuts up, we're all going to go down there. So if anyone wants to party with us, you can join us, buy us a drink, tell us how much you love us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
cool.
this event is not stopping. So, Kasey?
Sure. Oshi Gallery over, what you can do is
Smith
go...
Street,
Yes.
Fitzroy.
Thank you. Thank you. And in order to get all the details, what everyone should do anyway is follow Crypto Voxels, or Voxels, but on Twitter it's @CryptoVoxels. Follow that. You have all the details there. There's a t-shirt giveaway you can win on the 6th if you retweet the event. Sorry, I got to do my shilling here. It's going to be an amazing collection of creators and builders and parcels and wearables and just everything Voxels going on for the whole week. And I'm going to single out Ghost Agent right there. You can wave.
Yeah, stand up.
Put together
He's helped
most
out this
of it.
event a lot.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, the Oshi Gallery, if you haven't been, is amazing. It's a virtual gallery. It's a gallery for displaying digital art. So instead of white walls, it's all black walls, and they got big Samsung frame TVs everywhere, and it's projectors. It's fucking cool. It's where you go to see digital art. It's a very cool place. So I'd go along, even if all of this sounds like horseshit. It's a very, very cool gallery. If anyone wants to come and talk to me after this, these are the last 3 words I have, and I've run out, so excuse me if I can't chat to anyone after this. I'm done on talking today.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Through Oshi Gallery, Ghost Agent arranged a nifty gateway drop of some of our Voxillian creators. And it's really a way to get into NFTs if you haven't tried it before on Nifty Gateway. And they're going for $10. It's an open edition just for the week as well. So you can stack up on those. There's also one that is dedicated to one of our builders who passed away. And all proceeds from that will go to local cancer research center here. So check that out.
Cool, thanks. And also, if anybody wants to try Voxels, we have it running on the big screens over there. So if anybody wants to navigate a little bit through the world and go explore, I'm happy to show you how.
The dance moves there, I actually did some of those in person. Thank you, everyone.
And you'll happily do again tonight. I know.
Really? Well, this
Yes.
is base. Yeah, I got paid to do that.
I do
I
want to
paid
say,
you to do that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. What a sick job.
Punk Office and Marcus have been the major sponsors of this event tonight. So can we actually give them a big round of applause? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ben, Marcus, Mona, and Kasey. It has been wonderful to chat with you this evening, and we'll wrap up there. Thanks,
Cool.
everyone, for coming
Thanks for
tonight.
having us.
Yeah,
Thank
drink
you.
up, cupcakes, the works.